Hey, what's good, everybody? It's me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, and you're watching Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks, and it is another brand new episode of Who's That Cosplayer? And this is the final episode to come out before the Great Turkey War, which is coming up this Thursday. And joining me on this episode is professional voice actress, cosplayer, Captain All Maight. How you doing today?
Hi.
I'm
doing pretty well. How are you?
I am doing awesome. I am full of energy right now. Thank you so much for joining me on a brand new episode of Who's That Cosplayer, where I interview cosplayers and we find out who they are. So thank you so much. Before we get into this interview, everybody that's watching, make sure that you like this video, you subscribe to the channel, and you hit that bell button so that way you're always notified when we have new content here on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. And as D always says, podcast link down in the description. Like, follow, subscribe. So let's go ahead and get into this interview. So
like an actual YouTuber. That never happens to me.
I love it, man. So something that we do here on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks with all of our guests is, first off, I want to say awesome cosplay. You're my Valentine from Yugioh, the OG Yugioh, that is.
Yes.
And I just want to say that I love it. I love the hair. Like, I love that it's doing the dot. You know what I'm saying? So
that's Rent Chan. She is an amazing wig maker from Singapore, I think.
Awesome. Yeah, make sure you give the shout out. So that way people that's watching this video, they know where they can get the wigs from. But so like I was saying, one thing we always do is we ask our guests, what is your origin story? Every hero or villain has one. So tell everybody who Captain All Maight is.
Oh my goodness. Well, I was born June 18th, 1991. Basically for cosplay, I've loved anime since Sailor Moon came out when I was a kid at 6:30 in the morning. I think that was the only time you would see me wake up at 6:30 in the morning.
Yep,
because now I just sloth around. But I thought I was a Sailor Scout as a kid. I think every girl wanted to be a magical girl at that point. But I never knew what Sailor Moon actually was until I looked it up, and it was anime. So I was like, okay, what's anime? And then I got into all these other animes like Yu Yu Hakusho and Inuyasha, Chobits. And then as I got older, when I was 12, that's when Yu-Gi-Oh came out. And I was like, oh God, these stupid trading cards. Why? Why is everyone into these trading cards? Like, Pokemon was cool, but this just seemed weird to me. So one of my friends was like, oh, you should I think you would like it. You'd get into it. And I'm like, no. Until I saw one of the girls playing, and I was like, I want to be the top girl playing. No. So my friend taught me how to play, and then I saw Mai, and I was like, I want to be her when I grow up.
Hey, and look, and now you see where you are. You're my Valentine.
I mean, Yu-Gi-Oh has been a main factor in my voiceover career too. I trained with Dan Green at Edge Studios.
Nice.
Erica Schroeder has been a wonderful coach. Darren Dunstan's amazing. Like, so many of them. They're like my parents at this point.
Nice. You know, I feel like, and this is a piggyback off of what you had said earlier with the Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh comparison. You know, when Yu-Gi-Oh came out back when we were younger, it's like they had video games, but like Yu-Gi-Oh wasn't really known for their video games. They were known for the card game and for the TV show. Whereas with Pokemon, like, you did have the Pokemon cards that were out, but I feel like with Pokemon, they were more known for the Pokemon video game and the TV show. And I mean, you had some people who collected the cards, and honestly, the people who collected those Pokemon cards when they were kids, it's just like, I'm pretty sure half of them are millionaires now, because it's like most of those cards cost a lot of money. And if you see the videos and the trends on Twitter where they're like, somebody bought a holographic Charizard card for $20,000, you know, I mean, it's like, you would never think that. It's just like, wow, this card is expensive. I've never heard, I have heard a Yu-Gi-Oh story where a father, he had sold an original Blue Eyes White Dragon card so that way that he could send his kid to college. Did you ever hear about that story?
Yes. I thought that was the sweetest thing. And there was also a kid recently in the pandemic who was selling his Pokemon collection for his dog for surgery.
I remember that. I do remember seeing that. Yeah, it's
Bless
just
that child. I hope the dog is okay too.
yeah, same. I mean, it's just, I mean, you see these cards, it's like you think that, you know, they're just collectibles, but then it's just like when you see what people will actually pay to get these cards, especially like people like us who grew up in the 90s when, you know, these things were popular, and, you know, we become adults. And like how you said, when I grow up, I want to be my Valentine. And then now you got adults just like, hey, now that I have a job, I don't have to worry about my parents buying me stuff. I can get whatever I want. Cause you know, back then it was like my mom, she won't buy me Pokemon cards.
Right.
It's like,
I was like, do you really need these cards? Like, no, but yes.
Exactly. Look, it's just like my mom be like, do you want the cards or do you want the video game? I said, I want the video game. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like, that's because
if you get the video game though, you get the cards in it.
That is true. And then some video games came with the collectible cards. Cause I know with Yu-Gi-Oh, I think it was Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Kingdom that came out on the PlayStation 1. And I remember it came with a collectible card. And I was just like, yo, I got to get this game because nobody else is going to have that card. And unfortunately, somebody stole it from me. So,
no.
Yeah, that's always the worst. But, you know, going back to the cosplay and all of that stuff, you said that you want to be my Valentine. And I want to know, like, how was it when you went to your first con? When you went to your first con, did you cosplay as Mai, or did you just go to the con?
So I never knew about conventions or cosplay in general at all until I was a little older. I think I was 16, 17, and my friend said, I'm going to New York Anime Fest. This is before New York Comic Con and New York Anime Fest fused. So they had Comic Con in February and New York Anime Fest in October. So 1 October, I was like, okay, I can finally do this, because I did theater my whole life, so I was dressing up and doing, but I never knew what it was called. And then I was looking on DeviantArt, and you know how, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I know.
I was like, scroll. Wait, people actually dress up and do this places?
Yup.
So the first time I went to a con, it was like Disney World for me. Except I felt like a celebrity. So funny enough, as soon as I walked in as Mai, I hear somebody say, there's my Valentine, go get her. And it was a Joey Wheeler cosplayer.
Hey, nice.
Who we ended up dating for a short period of time afterwards. But like, you never know. So, and then people were stopping to take my picture, and I didn't know that was a thing. And I just was getting stopped everywhere. And what's even more fun is when they say, do you have her cards? And I'm like, yeah, I have her cards.
Of course.
Do you play? Yeah, I play. So then they try to stump me on the card game. I was like, nah, bro, I play. I'm not messing around. Like,
time to do.
I have morphed into this character. Like, I saw Erica last week at Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Nice.
And we were posing with the cards, and she goes, how do you know how to pose and I don't with the cards? I said, I've only been watching you guys for ever. So it's just kind of one of those things that it also just gives me confidence. Mai is just one of those I don't give a crap types of duelists. She's femme fatale. Purple's my favorite color. You know, she's always wearing purple. She has no care in the world.
She's badass.
And, you know, our love for this guy right here.
Hey, Joey. I'm surprised it's not the Joey making the dirt face where I was just like,
oh,
no, yeah, but yeah, that's awesome. I feel like when it comes to cosplay, it's just like nobody knows. It's like, I mean, nobody knows. No, they're gonna find out. Nobody knows. But
I know, it's so much fun. And also, you know, I'm a bigger girl too, so it's a little overwhelming at times when I see thinner cosplayers, and I'm like, oh my god, they're so pretty, they're so beautiful, they look just like the character. But then I'm like, no, I've embodied this character, I've had a lot of fun with this character. I'm just gonna be it. And I've never had any, well, no, I have had some feedback that wasn't so kind, but 90% of the time people will come up to me and be like, oh my god, you're amazing, I never see this character being cosplayed, can you help me? I was too shy to come up to you. I said, you were too shy to come up to me?
That's how it is.
Come up and say hello. Like, I'm an open book. I'm almost annoying at it. I'm always making friends. Like, it's almost dangerous because, like, no, stranger danger. No, you're my friend. No, stranger danger. Ah!
No, yeah, that's awesome. And I'm glad that you had those experiences where it's just like, because you was just like, maybe I shouldn't do this. You know what? F it. I'm going to go ahead and do this. You never know who you're going to inspire or who you're going to motivate. And like, that's one of the things that I love about cosplay, because I will say, like, I was in the same boat where it's just like, oh, well, you know, I don't know if I want to cosplay as this character, because I've done characters before, but I had never done anime characters. And, you know, this year was the first time that I had did anime characters, and I did Deku and Jotaro. And
looked really good.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I remember just telling myself, I was just like, man, I wonder if anybody's going to say anything, because, you know, I am African-American, and I already know how it is when it comes to people of color who cosplay characters, like, oh, well, you don't look like it. And then, you know, plus I'm bigger. So it's just like, I got 2 strikes already against me. And, you know, luckily I didn't get any bad feedback. You know, I mean, of course, like in one JoJo group, somebody had called me like the Black JoJo, and somebody had did a body shame. It was only like one person. And it's just like and I'm just like, you know, everybody in the JoJo group is so supportive, because it's like they attacked both of those people, because I'm just like, you know, cosplay is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be for everybody. And at the end of the day, as long as you are having fun, and like, that's what I tell everybody all the time, it doesn't matter what anybody says. And I mean, of course the positive stuff matters, but like all of the negative stuff, like that stuff gets drowned out, because it's like you're having fun. Like you said, it's like you dressed up as Mai, and people are just like, I've never seen a Mai cosplayer before.
And when you see multiple of the characters, it's like, yes, we can do mirror image shots. We can do multiple things. Like, every KatsuCon since 2017, there's like a gaggle of Joeys. And I'm just like, come to me, please. And I'm just like,
fight for me.
This is my dream. Like, I'm not a creeper, I swear. I'm so sorry. But yeah,
oh
no,
my
like,
God. Oh my God. I just thought about something. I just thought about you sitting on the couch and 5 Joeys behind you. Oh my God.
Oh my God. Yes, yes. Let's make it happen. Katsu 2022. Let's do it.
I mean,
but I remember. Yeah?
No. I was just going to say, like, stuff like that is cool. Cause I mean, like at NecoCon, I want to say there was like 6 Jotaros, including myself, and we did the Spider-Man thing where we were all pointing at each other.
Oh my God. Yeah, exactly. There's a bunch of that. It's so much fun. My first Otakon, where Little Karibo was really big, he photobombed our photo shoot, and there were 4 Mais. So somebody said if we had one more, we'd be 5Ds.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh my God. It's like, I just love stuff like that. I love it when the fandom can, you know, take other aspects of popular culture and be like, hey, we're going to do this, but we're going to do it with the characters that we're cosplaying as. And it's just so much fun going to these cons and like cosplaying. So I want to ask you guys, I mean, it already seems like you've already said some of your favorite con experiences, but like, if you had to choose one con experience that has been your favorite one so far from going to conventions, what would that be?
Oh my gosh, that's a tough one. But I think Wizard World Philly 2014, not anime related, more Marvel related, where Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan were going to be there. And I was big into Torchwood at the time. And James Marsders was there.
Nice.
And it was my birthday weekend, and I met him, and he was one of my first celebrities that I'd ever met. And he was just going on about how much he loved Captain John Hart and how it was one of his favorite characters. And I had a toy gun. And his handler goes, James, you're holding up the line. He goes, what? She has a gun. Guns are fun. And I'll never forget that, because that was one of my first big experiences. And I was like, he spent time with me. He was so nice. And Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan were also awesome. That Chris Evans went the year after, but that was definitely one of my favorite ones, because it it made my birthday special. I was out of town. they had a Dunkin' Donuts, which was also a plus.
Hey, Dunkin' Donuts over Krispy Kreme. That's all I'm saying.
There's so many. I mean, I'm old, man. There's so
Don't say
many.
that. You're only as old as you think you are.
Yeah, I'm just
I think that's how it goes.
Definitely your first con. You never forget your first con. Otakon was when I first debuted Evil Mai.
I remember Evil Mai.
Yeah, I still want to work on that one and do it with this wig. But that was when Little Karibo was there, and I said, "Can I glomp you?" And he said, "Sure," in his British accent. And I hugged him, and he said, "That's a glomp?" So I glomped him. He goes, "Oh dear, I shouldn't have ensued." But he was so nice, and he remembered me, and I made so many friends through conventions, and so many lifelong friends. All through Yu-Gi-Oh, especially too. So I'm their token Mai, East Coast represent. But I know a few Mai's on the West Coast, down south, Florida. We have a little alliance going on. So
that's nice. You know, I always say that it's cool because like Johnny 5 is a cosplayer who I had up here on Who's That Cosplayer. And one of the things about him is that he's known for his Deadpool cosplay. And I've been at cons with him where it's just like we'll walk to an area and we'll literally be in the area for like 20 to 25 minutes because like so many people are coming up to him and wanting to take pictures, and like his Deadpool is spot on, like the voice, like the snarkiness and the jokes and everything. So it's cool to actually see that in person. And like how you just said with your Mai, it's just like I'm known as Mai, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, even when I was doing my research and looking at, you know, other cosplays that you've done, it's just like her Instagram is filled with Mai cosplay.
I'm not hogging the character, I swear. I just really have a love for this character. I don't want to be...
just do it. Yeah. Like that's you. And like, that's the thing about cosplay is that you can cosplay whoever you want, but it's just like with Mai, it's just like you could do like so many different versions of Mai. Like you could just be known as the Mai cosplayer. It's just like when I did Jotaro, one of the things that I loved is that everybody that I always see at cons who cosplay as Jotaro, they always cosplay as part 3 Jotaro. I rarely see part 4 Jotaros. So it's like, I'm the only one that's from part 4. I got the white outfit on, and I just love the color because it's white and purple. I love the color purple as well.
Yes.
And it's like I stick out more than the bunch because I'm the only one wearing white. So it's just like I just love, like, I'm just like, hey, I'm gonna be Jotaro from part 4, and then same thing with Deku. I was the only Deku that was actual, like in the actual Deku outfit. Like I had saw other Dekus at the con, but like they were different versions of Deku, like or people like evil Deku and stuff like that. And I was just like, hey, I'm the only Deku. I'm the one with the hero outfit on, so I want to be Deku because I love My Hero Academia so much, and I see that you like My Hero Academia too. Because if I'm Deku, there's somebody that's the number 1 hero, and that is All Might, and your All Might costume was phenomenal.
Thank you. My roommate did my makeup. One of my friends did the gauntlets and the belt for me. But I have a lot of fun going around.
Who's that cosplayer?
Sailor Tay cosplay.
However, when people see me in person, I'm not as tall as you think I am. So it's kind of like I'm pocket-sized All Might. So it's like I still have the build of All Might, but it's kind of like you just shrunk me down, and I'm like, this Midoriya is taller than me. What is happening?
Chibi All Might. There we go.
Chibi Might.
Yeah, Chibi Might. I like that. But no,
I'm not quite.
But no, yeah, that's awesome, man. I mean, like, you know, since we're on the topic of My Hero Academia, I wanted to ask you, have you seen the new My Hero Academia World Heroes Mission movie?
Yes. Oh my God. So good. I saw it in Japanese and in English, supporting my VO peoples, and then just supporting it all in general. So good.
It is. It's like when I went to go see it opening day, and you know, I stay busy all the time, so I made sure that I went to go see it when it came out at the first show was like 12 o'clock, And I was the only bad thing that I had to say about that experience was that I was the only person in the movie theater screaming. Like everybody else was calm and reserved. When it got to the end of the movie, without spoiling it for anybody, it's like my jaw dropped. I got lockjaw. I was literally like trying to put my jaw back in place because I was just like, yo, this man right here, this is the reason why he is my hero. Just like how he looks up to All Might, I look up to Deku. Right. And the movie was just awesome. The voice acting was phenomenal for, the English dub and the Japanese dub. So I want to ask you, without spoiling it for anybody, who was your favorite character in the movie?
I mean, I'm gonna say it. I gotta go with Rhodey. I wanted to cosplay him for Anime NYC, but because I went to Michigan last week, I was like, not this con, but definitely at some point, because he has a little bird.
Pino.
His name is Pino, and he's so cute. She wears a little mask, and she's pink, and oh my god, I was just. Plus, I love the snark. I love snarky characters that are good guys.
No,
like snarky villains, but when they're good guys, it's even more fun because, like, what is your motive here? What are you really up to?
No, yeah, I 100% agree with you. Like, I thought Rhodey, he was awesome. And also everybody that's watching, we actually interviewed the voice actor who voiced Rhodey, Ryan Cole Levy, and that episode comes out next week. So make sure that you check that out when it drops. And yeah, he did an awesome job. And yeah, man, it's just like everybody that was a part of that movie, they deserve their roses because everybody did a good job. It's one of the highest grossing My Hero Academia films out of the 3 that have come out. Now, I want to ask you this because now we have 3 My Hero Academia movies out. Which one is your favorite?
I'm going to go with 2 Heroes. That's definitely my favorite because it had a different storyline. It still felt like it could have been just a really long, prolonged episode. I feel like those characters in that one specifically could be brought back.
Yes, I agree. Do you read the manga?
And then I liked Hero's Mission, but I feel like they were more focused on the big 3.
Than everybody else.
Whereas 2 Heroes, everyone had their moment. And then Heroes Rising was just Baku Deku adopt a kid, and it was a what if. I'm sorry if anyone hates me for it, but that was my least favorite out of all.
Well, I don't hate you, but Heroes Rising was my favorite movie. Like out of the 3 films, Heroes Rising is my favorite. World Heroes Mission is my second, and then 2 Heroes is in last. And I just feel like it's only in last because the other 2 movies are so much better, in my opinion. But the reason why I love Heroes Rising the most out of all 3 of them is because at the time, we really didn't get, like, even when reading the manga, I mean, you see it now, but reading the manga, you really didn't get a lot of shine on Class 1A. So I just loved in Heroes Rising that all of the characters were utilized. And then I was a huge fan of the fight at the end of the movie, but I'll say that the fight at the end of the movie in World Heroes Mission is my favorite out of all 3.
That was, yes. I feel like out of the fight scenes, World's Mission was definitely the best in fight scenes. But storyline as a whole for me, Heroes Rising was my favorite.
Yeah, I mean,
not Heroes Rising. Oh my God, 2 Heroes.
I was just like, okay, you changed up. I like that.
It's like Spider-Man. It's like Far From Home, Away From Home,
No Way Home, Homecoming.
Also almost midnight, my dude. I'm like, what is happening?
No, it's cool, but no. I want to ask you this because we talked about the cosplay, we talked about My Hero Academia. To move it along, because you are a voice actor, like, how did you get into voice acting?
If I say Yugioh, is that gonna annoy everybody again? But so Liberty City Anime Con was a small con that was around for a few summers. I believe it started in 2017 and it was unfortunately short-lived. However, I think it was 2018. and they had little kiosks outside of the con, which wasn't even a part of the con. They were just there. And I see a picture of Yami Yugi. Now, I was a theater graduate from Queens College, so I knew I wanted to do something with the arts. However, I can't dance, and I'm a bigger girl. So equity card is a little more difficult for me. I was like, why don't I do voice acting? I never thought of it before. And I was talking to it with my friends for a while, and I did one of my friend's media projects in school. But I never knew how to go about voice acting until one of the kiosks had a picture of Yami Yugi on it. I was like, what the heck is this? So I start talking to who is now my advisor, Suzanne Panito. She's amazing. And she was introducing me to the studio and just saying all of these things like, yeah, we do demos, we'll evaluate you, blah, blah, blah. And in my head, I'm like, this is a kiosk. It's probably full of shit. Like, you know. She calls me the following Tuesday, books me with Dan Green for my training. I got my demo, kept taking classes, joined Voice Actors of NYC. Shout out to Voice Actors of NYC for helping me along to where I am now. Now I got my first NDA.
Nice. That's awesome.
Very soon. I'm hoping by Thanksgiving the announcement will be out, but I don't know. But yeah, it's been a long journey. It has not been easy.
Of course.
You know, I'm resilient because I don't know if you know, but I unfortunately lost my mom and my uncle to COVID last year.
My condolences. No, I didn't know that. Yeah, my condolences on that.
And I even had it, and I wasn't even aware I had it because I do community theater. And I actually had my very first in-studio audition the week of the show that was going to open, but I had laryngitis. I get laryngitis before shows all the time, so I thought nothing of it. And they yell at me, like, go home, what are you doing here? Had that audition like the following week, but it never went anywhere. But I couldn't audition for like 2 months because my voice was gone and I was dealing with all of that. But then after a while, I was like, no, my family would not want me to wallow. They'd want me to keep going, live my life, and that's where I am now. And I'm just going and I'm auditioning every day and getting work. And yeah,
you just never gave up. You kept on pushing forward, and
you can't give up, especially in a competitive field like this. What I love so much about voice acting, though, is yes, we're all in the same boat, but we each have a different path, and we're all super supportive of one another.
It's kind of similar to wrestling. Well, not everybody.
Yeah, I have 2 wrestling friends in my improv class, and I love them so much, even though we rag on each other all the time. But
yeah, but and, I mean, it's. I mean, you know, you do have your supporters in wrestling and whatnot. Not everybody's gonna support you, but I agree when you say it's a competitive field because it's just like you always want to keep on trying to put yourself out there because it's just like I feel like when you stop, then it's like you get stagnant, and you know, some people get bitter and all that other stuff. So it's just like you have to keep on pushing, you have to keep going. And I'm glad that you kept on going because I already know how it can be when you have hardships in your life and when you hit roadblocks and you start questioning. It's just like, well, should I keep going? Is this something that I should keep trying to pursue? And you kept going, and you know, I'm happy for you. I'm always happy for, you know, all of my voice acting friends, especially the ones that do just start out and they keep on going, and then once they finally get that gig, and it's like a rocket. It just keeps going. It just keeps going. It keeps going. But so
it's like, okay, I got a gig now, I'm done. No, you just keep at it. I'm even thinking of one day coaching.
Nice.
When I get more experience, because I like teaching what I've absorbed. I learn it and I help other people. I've made so many friends through this community.
And that's what it's all about.
And it helps motivate them too. It's like, what are you going to get out of being mean and keeping it all to yourself?
Exactly.
Everyone starts somewhere.
Yeah, and I feel like it is good to, you know, help others out because I feel like, coming up, I mean, because, when we interview voice actors and stuff, like the OG voice actors, it's like, it kind of felt like really tight knit. Whereas now it's like, anybody can get into voice acting. Like you could take classes. It's a lot easier to learn how to do this stuff. Whereas back then, it's just like, even with wrestling back then, it's just like, well, how do I become a professional wrestler? Like, where am I supposed to go? And it's just like, everybody's just like, I'm not telling you anything. That's just like, well, how do I become one? So it's just awesome
to introduce you to my friend Flynn. I think you guys would hit it off right away.
Hey, send me the links. I'll add them. I'm a very approachable guy. I'm always down to talk to new people. Oh
yeah.
And I'm always down to meet.
They are both great.
So now I want to ask you this. When you're not doing voiceover work, when you're not cosplaying, what are some of your hobbies that you're into?
Being annoying. No, I've been really into Animal Crossing. I got back into it. I do play Yu-Gi-Oh outside of this. I've been practicing my driving.
Nice.
Doing the mundane adulty things, and then I go online and I'm doing my Twitters and all that. But mainly just working towards my craft, auditioning, just writing, messing with my cat. Or like he messes with me, but he's okay.
No, I mean, yeah, you got to stay messing with the cats, and like you said, I mean, like they can be annoying sometimes, especially I know when you're trying to record and whatnot. And
oh yeah, he's tried to take over a few times. I'll be like, oh, this is such a good. I'm like,
it's like, really? Come on. It's like I'll try to record.
If they need a cat, I will tell you. But I'm keeping the cut. I'm sorry.
Nah, yeah, I can only imagine because like cats, it's like they're only annoying when you're not giving them attention. And it's just like, just at least with dogs, it's just like you go to another room, they just chilling. But with cats, it's like they're gonna follow you. They're curious. You know what I'm saying? So
that was my roommate. She just finished helping with my dueling glove for Saturday.
Nice. Now, can you show this on screen right now?
It's not attached yet, but she's showing. So I'll put this on first.
Okay. The classic.
So they're still drying. And she has to cut the fingers, but
I do. Oh my god, yo, I'm sitting here getting hyped like a little kid. Oh, they're gonna stars and everything.
Do you mind if she says hello?
Yeah. Come on camera.
She just said she doesn't want to be on camera. But Sparkle Girl costumes also amazing. She does a lot of my stuff. So.
Hey, nice shout out. But yeah, that looks awesome. That looks really awesome. Now, just to let you know, I mean, if you duel somebody, you got to give up 2 stars. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, absolutely. But I'm not going to lose, so.
Just be careful.
You don't need to attach it. Just cut the fingers and it should be fine. Yeah, it was just that I didn't know if it was hot glue.
No, you're fine. And she's awesome.
Okay, so yeah, it should be fine. It doesn't fix the leather. Yeah, so it'll be fine. I'll just stick it, yeah. Yeah, just put the thing on first and then cut the extra. Cosplaying 101, everybody.
There you go. Hey, y'all just saw a cosplay prop, a cosplay shout out. Everything looks wonderful. And you never know what's gonna happen. Hey, we did not an interview, a review. It was just me and Trav, and then D, he called in because he said he wasn't gonna be able to make it, and then he joined in. So you never know what you're gonna see here on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. So now I have a couple more questions for you, then we can go and wrap this thing up. The Great Turkey War is happening this week, and
that's totally fine. Take your time.
2 questions for you for this. What is your favorite dish that you like to have on Thanksgiving?
I make a mean turkey.
Do you cook it in the oven or do you fry it?
I'm very possessive of my turkey and my mom's homemade stuffing.
Hey, nice. Now, do you fry the turkey or do you cook it in the oven?
No, I baste it. So I usually just have the spices and then I massage the turkey with butter and then I do 1/2 cup sherry, 1/2 cup orange juice, baste, flip, baste every 20 minutes. And voila, turkey.
Voila, you have a nice Thanksgiving turkey. And then the other question that I have is, what is some of your Thanksgiving traditions that you like to do on Thanksgiving?
It's hard because last year was the first Thanksgiving without my family. However, when I was younger, I used to go to Kutcher's, which was upstate in the Catskill Mountains. It was a resort.
Nice.
2007, they got bought out by a casino.
So
after a while, I took the initiative to start cooking the turkey. And my mom would supervise. My mom and I would do it together. And then she would supervise. And when her MS started getting bad, I started taking over. And it just became my holiday. No pun intended. But yeah, so I think the tradition is just, I make the turkey. Whoever wants to come can come. But it's mine. Like, I will do the turkey. You guys can make whatever you want. Turkey's mine.
No, I feel you on that. I'm the same way when it comes to macaroni and cheese, because I make some mean macaroni and cheese. And I remember there was one time where it's crazy. I just told this story on last week's episode. But anyway, to make a quick story short, my macaroni and cheese is the best, and I'm sorry that my aunt's macaroni and cheese was trash. But it's like as soon as I pulled my macaroni and cheese out, they stopped messing with my aunt's macaroni and cheese, and they came straight to mine. But
well, we gotta do an exchange then at some point.
Oh, for sure. Hey, we gotta do the Friendsgiving. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Hey, we gotta
all
make
of your interviewers. Just yeah.
Yeah, I'd be down for that. Well, I don't know about like all the interviewers, because it's like I'm gonna put all of you guys in like a Survivor type game where it's like everybody's gonna be on the island and only one person's gonna win. And now with Squid Games being out, I might even do it like that, but it's just like y'all aren't gonna literally get taken out. But so now my final two questions for you, and you can kind of combine this if you want to, because it's like I've never had a cosplayer and a voice actor as one up here on Who's That Cosplayer. So to anybody that wants to get into either cosplaying or voice acting, what is some advice that you would give them?
Cosplay, just do it. Cosplay, you fall in love with a character, you just do it. I mean, not Shia LaBeouf. You can make your wigs out of paper when you just start out. You don't even need a wig when you start out. You can get a t-shirt and jeans and just call yourself your own character, you know, be a Pokemon trainer. There is no wrong way to start out cosplay.
I love that.
And there's no wrong way to start out voice acting either, as long as, you know, take acting classes, take improv. That definitely helps. But then in the long run, as far as voiceover goes, persevere. You're not gonna make it if you just give up.
Yep.
And you gotta be willing to put in the work and take the classes and get the equipment when you're at that level, because what you give will be what you get back. There's no time limit on it. You just gotta. I can't say good things come to those who wait, because this is a hustling game. But you just gotta be at the right place, the right time, and it will happen. And you could always manifest it. Just be like, I'm going to be on an anime one day, and then do it, you know? Some people it happens overnight. Some people it takes years. But if it happens, great. Just keep going. And then cosplay your own characters, because why the heck not?
hey, you know what I'm saying? Who was it that we had up here? Man, I can't remember her name. It's not Rachel Cook. I'm so mad I'm having a brain fart right now. She voices Bakugo's mom on My Hero Academia.
Oh.
I'm so mad I'm having a brain fart right now. Hold on real quick. It is Rachel Glass. I don't know why I was thinking about Rachel Cook. Rachel Glass.
I mean, you had the Rachel part.
Hey, I knew it was Rachel, and she voices Bakugo's mom, and she went to a con and she was cosplaying as Bakugo's mom. So you know what I'm saying? I agree with you when you say that. If you're a voice actor and you love cosplay, It's just like cosplay as your characters, and then do the voices, and then surprise fans that are.
I used
at
to
the
be
con.
so freaked out when I told my coaches that I didn't even tell them I cosplayed, but when they found out that I cosplayed, they were like, "Oh no, it's cool. We love seeing cosplayers." And then when they find out that I voice act too, they're like,
"Nani?"
And I know how to separate the two, because it does get a little tricky when I want to meet my idols and voice actors, because I don't want to overwhelm them and be like, "Hi, I'm your character. Look at me." Blah, blah, blah. Because I also want to be professional and say,
Exactly.
"Hey, do you teach classes? Do you have any advice? I'd love to take classes with you or learn something from you. Maybe even audition for you." And even that's a fine line that I get a little nervous about.
Mm-hmm. And I totally understand that.
Right. But if I've met them before, or I feel a little more comfortable, I'll say, "Hey, are you offering classes, or do you offer classes? I'd love to learn from you and see what your studio is like, or what your path is like." They're people too. The worst they say is no.
Exactly. I agree with you on that. I mean, it's the same thing when it comes to interviewing people on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. They either gonna say yes, no, or they're not gonna answer at all. So, and also too, I say that it's best when you go and meet somebody in person, because at least when you meet them in person, it's a lot easier to, introduce yourself, put yourself over, and either they're going to say yes or they're going to say no. You know what I'm saying? It's not like they can't just leave you on red in person. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah, with that being said, thank you so much for joining me up here on the final episode before the Great Turkey War approaches us. And
anytime.
Before I let you go, let everybody in social media land know where they can find you at.
You can follow me on Twitter at JenSilv_VO, or Instagram JenSilv_VO, or Captain _all_ Maight MAIGHT.
Nice. Hey, you got to let them know. Everybody go and follow her. Thank you for watching this interview. And thank you, Captain All Maight, for joining me up here on another episode of Who's That Cosplayer? You know where you can find me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, at KingBenji_Banks. On Twitter and Instagram. You can find me on Facebook at Benjamin Banks. I should be the first person to pop up. If not, then I need to contact Mr. Zuckerberg. Thank you again, everybody, for watching this interview. Make sure that you have a safe holiday. Make sure that you prepare for the Great Turkey War. Stay positive. Keep that pinky up. We'll see you next time on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Peace.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thanks again, everybody, for watching another episode of Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe to the channel. Podcast, we got that too. Make sure you give us a thumbs up and hit that bell for further episodes and notifications. Thanks a lot to our patrons. And if you don't mind, join the Patreon. We'll be having new specials coming up soon.